Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into a huge shift in the way we all work, the gig economy. Now, if you're one of the millions of people freelancing, driving for a rideshare, or just paving your own way, you already know the freedom is absolutely incredible. But what about the money? Let's get into your guide for mastering the financial side of gig life.
First, let's just try to wrap our heads around the sheer size of this thing. A 2023 report from the World Bank estimates that there are 435 million gig workers around the globe. I mean, that is a staggering 12.5% of the entire labor force. This isn't just some passing trend. It's a fundamental change in how the world gets work done.
And this whole movement isn't just big, it's accelerating. Like, really accelerating. The gig economy is growing a whopping 3 times faster than the traditional workforce. And it's really Gen Z that's leading the charge here, totally embracing the flexibility that this kind of work offers.
But with all that amazing freedom, well, there's a catch. Stowing Hall, who's the CEO of the advisory firm Black Mammoth, he puts it perfectly. He says they've got flexibility, but are skipping out on long-term financial security. And that, right there, highlights the classic double-edged sword of gig work. You get all the autonomy you could want, but you lose those built-in financial safety nets. And that's the core challenge we're going to unpack today. So, let's just be super clear about what this trade-off really is. We're talking about the incredible freedom of being your own boss weighed against the very real risk of financial instability. Just understanding this balance is the absolute first step toward building a secure future, but on your own terms. So when you walk away from a traditional job, what are you actually leaving on the table? Well, first, that predictable income, the steady paycheck, is just gone. So is the employer-sponsored health insurance. You're also missing out on automatic retirement plans, like a 401k, and you definitely don't have an employer holding back payroll taxes for you anymore. All of a sudden, you're on your own for all of it.
All right, so that's the problem. What in the world is the solution? Well, it all starts with building a rock-solid financial foundation, one that's specifically designed to handle the #1 challenge of gig work, that unpredictable income.
The key here is to create your own stability, and you can do it with 3 key habits. First, budget backwards. Base this month's spending on what you made last month. This totally breaks that awful feast or famine cycle that gets so many freelancers. Second, build a serious buffer. Forget that old 3-month rule. You're going to want 6 to 12 months of living expenses saved up to ride out those slow periods. And third, and listen, this one is non-negotiable. You have to automatically set aside 25 to 30% of every single payment for taxes. Just treat it like it was never your money to begin with.
Let's zoom in on those taxes for a second, because I know it can be an intimidating topic. You'll be paying what are called estimated taxes. And put simply, these are just quarterly payments you make directly to the IRS since, well, you don't have a boss doing it for you. If you think you're going to owe at least $1,000 in tax for the year, the IRS wants you to pay as you go. And that tax account we just talked about? Yeah, that's your secret weapon for staying ahead of the game.
Okay, so you've got your cash flow managed, you're on top of your taxes. What's next? Well, now you have to become your own HR department. It's time to create what we're going to call your DIY benefit stack. This is how you replace all those perks an employer would normally give you.
So here are the key pillars of your new benefits package. For health insurance, the Affordable Care Act, or ACA, Marketplace is going to be your best friend. And get this, thanks to subsidies, a lot of people actually find plans for under $10 a month. For retirement, you've got some really powerful self-employed options like IRAs and solo 401ks. Then, you've got to protect your ability to earn with disability insurance. And if your gig involves any kind of driving, you absolutely need proper liability or commercial auto insurance.
So let's quickly compare those retirement plans, just to make it simple. If you're just starting out, a traditional or Roth IRA is perfect. It's super simple and you can put in up to $7,000 for 2025. But once you're earning more, you're going to want to level up and look at a SEP IRA or a solo 401k. Why? Because the contribution limits are massive. We're talking up to $70,000 in 2025. This is how you really supercharge your retirement savings as a gig worker.
Okay, so you've built your financial defense. You've got an emergency fund, you've got a tax plan, a benefit stack. You're secure. But how do you actually get ahead? How do you go from just surviving to really, truly thriving in the gig economy?
And this right here is the final and honestly the most powerful step. It's time to stop thinking like a freelancer and start thinking like a CEO. This is all about shifting your mindset from a purely defensive financial plan to actually playing offense, actively growing your business and your wealth. So how does a CEO play offense? It really comes down to two main things. First, you diversify your income. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? You could be doing graphic design on Upwork, maybe some tutoring on Wyzant, and some rideshare driving on the side. Second, and this is so crucial, you invest in yourself by upskilling. A freelancer who's trained in a high-demand field like cybersecurity can earn dramatically more than someone, say, delivering food. This is how you really, truly grow.
And this brings us right back around to where we started. We're going to end with another fantastic insight from Stoy Hall. If you want the freedom of a CEO, you need the financial discipline of a CFO. And that's really the whole secret, isn't it? The gig economy offers this incredible freedom. By combining that freedom with some smart financial discipline, you can build a career that's not just flexible, but also resilient, prosperous, and truly, completely your own.